We began our journey at 3:30 in the morning, sealing up our bags and doing some last-minute packing. We left for the airport around 4 o'clock to make our 6:45 boarding. Luckily, to alleviate the situation, we lavishly purchased the luxury of first-class flight. Mom and I ticketed our bags without Dad, which was a tad stressful, but he eventually showed up. Boarding the plane was easy with the usual safety demo and peanuts. They served a breakfast of croissants and quiches, but 4 hours later we landed in Salt Lake City. We walked to our next plane, which would take us to Seattle, and another 2 hours later, we were there. The final stretch to Hawaii was 6 hours. Our sky-high lunch consisted of chicken, salad, chicken tortellini, or a charcuterie board. Finally, at 5 o'clock, we finally were in the islands of paradise, Kona. Our next objective was to acquire a rental car. We finally arrived to our condo at 9 o'clock island time. Sleep tight. We slept in that day and arose to a breakfast cooked by Dad. There was a grocery store nearby so we could purchase our necessities. This day we were going to take pictures like the classic Hawaiian crime show, Magnum P.I. on the beach. But Dad forgot his shirt. We made a quick trip to the store to buy another one of those iconic shirts to prepare for our silly photo. We didn't have that many plans today. We took our photo and went back for lunch. Later, Mom and I walked across the rocky coast. As we were walking, we found a mysterious idol and some nearby ancient ruins. It might have some magic powers. We went to the pool for a bit and on the way back looked for mongooses. Mongooses? Mono people? At the condo, Dad made pineapple drinks. I also figured out the idol was some sort of charm. For dinner that night, Dad made delicious pineapple rice, broccoli, and broiled chicken. We went to bed early that night to go to Pearl Harbor the next morning. We began this day's adventure at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to Pearl Harbor. We needed to pack light because no backpacks or purses were allowed in the memorial site. The flight was around 45 minutes and left at 7 o'clock. We finally landed in Oahu at 7:50. At the memorial area, our great tour guide Nava greeted us and gave us directions and tips about the site. We made our way to the Arizona Memorial. Another tour guide explained about the day that will live in infamy. Later, we watched a film about the tragic Japanese attack on December 7th, 1941. Nava then took us across the island to Pounders for lunch. After lunch, we headed to the Polynesian Cultural Center, or PCC. There we observed all the different Polynesian island traditions. The first island we went to was Samoa. The show was very funny, and they climbed trees. Very fast, too. The second island was Tahiti, and they played many interesting drums. We stopped for shaved ice, and then Nava took us to an oceanfront cliffside. Many people jumped from these rocks and climbed back up. Nava finally took us back to the airport and we flew home after a nice little meal. Around 9, we were back in the condo and ready for bed. We slept in that day because all of our plans were in the afternoon. We had a nice little breakfast and put in our beach clothes. We had some fun at the beach and went on a walking trail. In our wet clothes, we still had fun seeing the cats and mongooses. One screeched at us, but we couldn't get it on camera. The ancient people here in Kona made fish ponds and houses. Next, we headed to the Queen's shops to get a quick bite to eat. After lunch, we bought some souvenirs and gifts. We went back to the condo to rest up for our 6 o'clock manta ray snorkel. Since Dad wasn't feeling so good, he couldn't come. Our group was taken by boat to the cool manta ray site. Because the rays eat plankton and the plankton really like light, lights were secured on the bottom of the surfboards to attract the plankton. The surfboards had PVC pipe around the side so 9 people could safely watch the rays. We saw so many manta rays and they got so close. Many did a really interesting roll maneuver to get as much plankton as they could. You can identify each individual manta ray by its very cool, unique striping pattern on the bottom of its stomach. We finally arrived at the condo where we showered and ate spaghetti by Dad. We took a long nap because we had more things to do that night. At 12:30 at night, we left the condo to go stargazing at 1. Our guide showed us constellations and other celestial bodies. It was very cold at the top of Mauna Kea, one of the tallest mountains in the world. We slept for 6 hours to prepare for our volcano tour at 11:30. We left for Kilauea. The drive was very cool because we were in the windward or Hilo side. At 2 o'clock, our volcano tour began. We started at an area with tree molds made from lava. Next, we took a long hike to the Kilauea caldera. A caldera is a collapsed magma chamber. We still saw some splashing bright orange lava even in the daylight. Our guide told us many interesting stories. He also showed us that many invasive plants here are edible. The Himalayan raspberries were the best. We also learned that the Hawaiians believe anything made from lava is to be part of Pele, the goddess of lava. like these drops of lava that have frozen as they fell from the sky, called Pele's tears, and these bits of lava blown away from their groups in little strands called Pele's hair. Pele's hair can only be blown away from Pahoehoe lava, which is lava that is really hot and flows easily. The other type of lava, A'a, is 30 degrees cooler than Pahoehoe lava. It is chunky and makes a metal sound when it is flowing. We drove 2 hours back through a cloud, which was cool. We ate at the beach club and were ready for bed. We had an actual good night's sleep and woke up at 10:20. We went to Hapuna Beach. There, we boogie boarded and tried to snorkel. Mom and I hit some really good waves. At the beach, we went on a walk and saw some nenes. Nenes are Canadian geese that have evolved over the years to fit the landscape of Hawaii. We went back to the Queen's shops to pick up some food. We ate outside and saw a mongoose creeping across the lawn. He then went into the rocks, but we believe this is home. We began to prepare for our photo shoot. We went to Kokio Beach to take photos. We did many cool shots and saw a sea turtle. He was napping. We drove to Nubi's Italian restaurant in the Hyatt Hotel. We ate some good food and went back to the condo to rest. We got up around 7 to prepare for another snorkel trip. Dad came with us this time. We boarded the boat and they gave us safety information. The snorkel was very fun and we saw many interesting fish. We went to the Queen's shops to get some snacks and then went back to Hapuna Beach. We took the idol with us. We boogie boarded and had some mysterious wipeouts. We went back to the condo and went on a walk. We saw some lizards and a mongoose. We took some photos and the idol fell off the balcony. He was fine. We went to the beach club for dinner and went to bed for our last night. We slept late, packed our bags, and cleaned the room because this was our last day in Hawaii. Went to the grocery store to buy souvenirs because if we purchased enough items, we could get free gifts. We bought more tikis and a hula girl for the boat. Then we had a delicious lunch at the Four Seasons. At 2 o'clock, we did an octopus tour. We got to see many octopuses and they would grab our hands. After the tour, we went back to Kokio Beach to look for sea turtles. We didn't see any. At 9 o'clock, we boarded our plane and waved goodbye to Hawaii. Our flight was 6 hours and landed in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles Airport, we went to the Sky Club, an area in the airport with food and showers. We all showered and waited for our next plane. It was 6 hours and left at 10 o'clock Pacific time. We all took a nap. Our plane finally landed in Tampa, where we got our bags and drove home. So, yeah, that was our family's trip to Hawaii 2022. June something. I don't know dates. Yeah, that was it. So it was really fun. We made so many memories. It was amazing.